Tonight on the Political Orphans, we are joined by a former political prisoner of the Islamic Republic of Iran. He took refuge in Canada after being tortured in jail. He is a staunch opponent of Judaism and Sharia law and jihadism, not Judaism, obviously. He is an expert on the subject of Islamic regime in Iran's foreign interference in Canada. He is the founder and executive director of I Care. Let's welcome Salman Sima to the show. Mr. Sima, how are you doing, sir?
Good day, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me in your show.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this one. When Nico told me
the
you're
French
coming on.
accent. Yeah, the French accent kind of destroyed the Judaism.
Yeah.
Jihadism.
I mean, you might be opposed to Judaism too. That's a separate
No,
conversation.
I know he is
That's
not.
fine.
No,
Oh.
I know he is not. So I want to make sure that we're on the same page. But he is. We are speaking about jihad and Sharia law that you're opposed to. So thank you for joining us, because I wanted to talk about this, and we need experts to talk about stuff that we barely know about. And I reached out to you yesterday. You're kind enough to join us today. So here you are. We will, we'll give you an easy one, because it's part of your history. It's part of your personal history, your life. You want to explain to us when and why you left Iran?
So today we need to focus on the people in Iran. So I'll make it short. So I was arrested by the regime several times. That honestly, I don't remember that, because in Iran we don't consider less than 24 hours as an arrest. I can say that many youths in Iran were arrested by the regime for 1 day, 2 days. We don't consider it. We don't report it to our family, to our mom, that, oh, the IRGC arrested me for the crime of shaking a hand with the girl, or just enjoying a beer or whatever. So I got jailed 3 times. Once I was in a jail for 34 days, all of them solitary confinement. And the other one was around 99 days, and the other one 23 days. So I did 2 times hunger strike, and many human rights organization. At that time, Amnesty was not a lefty pro-Palestine organization. So they issued an urgent action for me. And many reporters, many friends, many journalists, they were talking about me. It was a campaign, Free Salman, Very Salman. So, I went on a hunger strike. And I do remember that when my integrator said that, what do you want? You want to, for example, TV in your cell? You want a phone call with your family? What do you want? You want your freedom? I said that, no, just give my body for funeral to my family. It scared them. Then they said that, oh, what should we do that you stop your dry hunger strike? When I say dry hunger strike, no water, no food. Less than 2 days, they forcefully put me in a small, we call it hospital, but it's not a hospital in a Western atmosphere. It was a small care room. They injected what you call it, IV to my arm, and I refused back and forth. Then they said that, okay, we have to give you the IV. I refused that. Then 4 huge guys came and they hold my hands and they forcefully injected me IV. Then I could arrange a phone call to my family. And in this phone call, I informed my brave dad, my brave sister, that I am in dry hunger strike. And that was enough. Whole the world, whole the human rights world in Iran, they were worried about me, and the regime forced to release me on bail. And after a few weeks, my lawyer came, and my lawyer was my friend as well. So he said that, Salman, you should go or you should go. I said that, what do you mean? He said that you should go in the jail because it's a sentence, 6 years, by brutal judge Qazi Salawati, or you should go out of the country. Then I find a smuggler, and jokingly between political prisoners, we call these smugglers real human rights activists because they save lots of life. Really, many the other political prisoners friend, they use the same smuggler. Then from the Turkey, I introduce myself to the UNHCR, and I was interviewed 2 times by UNHCR. I was interviewed 2 times by Canadian embassy, once in Canada when I arrived, and once in Ankara, the capital of Turkey, in the embassy of Canada in Turkey. Then I came here in Canada as a legal refugee in 2011. Now I am here in your show.
Wow.
So you've been here for 14 years, if my math is accurate here, to 2011, 2015,
15 years.
2025. Oh, yeah, 15 years. So now that we have a better understanding of where you come from, you're actually from Iran. You suffered through the regime that's there right now, and I got a feeling, you correct me if I'm wrong here, but it seems that it's been getting worse than it was when you were still there. And the first question really about what's going on in Iran, what are people revolting against? Is it Islam? Is it the Iranian government? Is it a mix of both? What are people going to the street for, really?
I identify myself as a Muslim, okay, and at the same time, I reject Sharia law, I reject Islamism, and I reject political Islam, radical Islam. If you want to pray for your God in your bedroom, do whatever, okay? It's not my business. First Amendment, freedom of religion. So the people in Iran crying out for their dignity and their freedom, they are risking everything. You see thousands of the footages, they are chanting against the regime, they are chanting against IRGC, they are chanting against the supreme loser. We don't call it supreme leader, supreme loser Ali Khamenei. And the news is so bad from Iran. The regime is killing in mass number, thousands and thousands. We had a confirmed news for 2,000 when apologists left the reformist media like BBC, that they are just fake news media. When they said 2,000, as a person who come from the grassroots, who was fighting against IRGC on the ground, I can understand that at least 10,000 brave souls, they sacrificed their lives for freedom. The answer of your question is that people of Iran are fighting for their freedom.
Salman, I've got a question, just going back to your specific case. You mentioned that you were imprisoned 3 separate times, and you had mentioned an interrogator. So, and feel free to not go into this if you're not comfortable with it, but I assume that you were.
Don't worry, I won't feel offended. Don't worry.
Okay, were you, just because it's relevant to the story as we're trying to understand, how brutal this regime is, but is it fair to say you were tortured when you were imprisoned?
Yes, they broke one of my teeth. Still, you can see that they scrapped my lips, and they broke 2 of my ribs. Still, I'm dealing with some of the consequences. And the most torture is solitary confinement. We call it white torture. As a person who is active in Iran, I used to sleep 7-8 hours, 8 hours university, and some kind of tutoring and this thing for making some side money. And the rest of the time I spend with my friends. We go to the cafe, we organize a protest, we organize a rally, we go play the soccer or football, that. Imagine that all of a sudden, everything is stopped. You are in a room, 2 by 2, 2 by 230, and they open the gate of the cell just 3 times per day, each time 10 seconds, to give you a food, just 15-gram butter with unlimited amount of bread. Bread was free, okay? So they give you 15-gram butter with bread, and some normal lunch and some very light dinner. And as a yummy person, as a person who loves food, so imagine that you are in a room, you don't see any face, you don't talk with anyone except your God. And jokingly, we say to the friends that even we had the number of the mosquitoes and the ants in the cell because you don't have anything better to do. And this is a technique, this is a psychological torture. And imagine that 10 days, 11 days, sometimes 2 weeks, you don't talk with anyone, you don't see
Yeah.
anyone. After 2 weeks, your integrator call you for integration session. Okay, doesn't matter that you are seeing Osama bin Laden, you are seeing Hitler, you are seeing Abu Bakr Baghdadi or whatever, because you are seeing a new face. You want to talk.
Yeah.
You want to talk. At that time, you give the information, you integrator. And just on the side note, how we deal with this dirty technique, we purposefully, or at least I purposefully mock or insult the integrator. Then the integrator, for example, slap in my face or elbow on my stomach. So I said that, oh, you slap in my face, I'm not gonna answer any of your question. The motivation here is not resistant. The motivation is that I am stubborn. You insult me, I'm not gonna work with you. But it helps. The result is you don't give any information to the integrator. So they had thousands of technique to whitewash, brainwash you, to white torture you, and we had the faith in freedom to stand against them.
Wow.
One of the things that's been said right now, and I just want to go back to my original question because I don't feel it was really addressed, but from what I could gather, the people started taking to the street because of hyperinflation, because literally your money, the Iranian money is worth nothing right now, and everything's expensive. You can't buy anything, and on top of that, they're being controlled by a very pro-Islamic government. Is this really what they want, is to go back to kind of a pre-70s type of Iran, where Iran wasn't taken over by the Islamic State? Is that what really they're fighting for right now?
The first part of your question, that uh, economical situation, hyperinflation, it was just a spark. It was not a main
Yeah.
motive. Main motive is freedom, and this uprising is the another wave that started from 2000 December 2017, January 2018. Wave by wave, we came here. For example, in November 2019, the regime shut down the internet, the same thing that the regime is doing these days, and killed at least 3,000 in 5 days. Okay. And yes, people of Iran clearly chanting Javid Shah, which means that long live the Shah, long live the king, which they want constitutional monarchy that they had it before 1979 Islamic revolt. And let me explain it this way. You know that Iran is a country that we don't have independent days. We don't have 1st of July or like Canada, or 4th of July like US. Okay. Why? Because from the beginning of the planet Earth, we were a huge country. We were a big country. Okay. Iran has a great history. And in all of this history, we had kingdom, we had Shah, we didn't have a republic or whatever. It is in the DNA of the nation. How people think, people said that, okay, we had kingdom, now we had the Islamic Republic. Which one is better? Okay. And add this, that during the Mohammad Reza Shah, the recent Shah of Iran, we had economic prosperity, we had 10% of GDP growth rate for 10 years, over a decade, people were happy. Yes, maybe we have some problem, maybe. So, but people were happy. We are talking about the time that, communists in Siberia, in USSR, they were killing in millions of people. Then you're going to compare, for example, Iran 50 years ago with the US standard in 2026. No, you should compare Iran with the neighbors. You should compare Iran in 2026 with US in 2026. You should compare Iran, for example, 50 years ago with the neighbors country 50 years ago. So yes, in a mind of the people, in the mind of the nation, they remember that during the Shah, they were in a better situation. They had much more freedom. And we had, for example, women's right vote even before Switzerland. The Shah of Iran gave it to the people, So Shah was a really progressive patriot, and he was mentioning to the globalists and unity of left and Islamist jihadists. One of my friends said that Salman Shah was saying what Trump is saying today. I said that no, Trump is saying what Shah was saying 50 years ago.
So the idea is to bring back the sun, right? Sorry, Rob. I just want to make sure.
Yes. Reza Shah the second, or I consider him as a Shah, but you want to use the official language, you can say that Crown Reza Pahlavi, or I say Reza Shah the second.
Which is in exile in the US, right? At the moment,
Yes.
I just want to make sure we're
he's
talking
in
about
the
the
US,
same thing.
and we had a good news this morning that he is in touch with President Trump administration, which is a good news for people inside Iran.
Yeah, so that was going to be the first part of my question was, is that the plan to get the Shah? Let's say that this revolution is ends with the end of the regime, so that is the plan, is to bring the Shah back. I've got a second part of that question is was actually two parts. One is, do you think that, and this is probably not as important as some of the other stuff, but just out of curiosity, do you think that they're going to keep the name Iran, or would they want to switch it back to Persia, which I think is more of the traditional?
It's gonna be. Let me say that many Western friends, they want to show their support. They use the word Persia. Personally, I don't mind. You want to use Persia or Iran, but if you want to, for example, know the better, Persia is some Persians are some part of Iranians. We have others. We have Turks.
So
we
not
have Balts,
not
we
every
have
Iranian
Arabs.
is Persian.
I don't call them ethnicity because they are not ethnicity in the that in the mindset of Western, but
I got you.
we have same culture, sometimes different language, different music, different dance, but it's not, for example, you think that there is a division between Californian and Texan or Floridian, or in Canada, division between Albertan and Quebecers. No, this is not something that Iranians are a one nation, but we have several different, branches. Maybe you can translate it ethnicity.
Yeah, so I just wanted
the name gonna be Iran. The name gonna be Iran.
Understood. And just the second part of the question is, now we've seen this before, right? There have been revolutions or the beginning of revolutions, uprisings that look like they might really threaten the regime, and then they weren't successful. This time, I don't know. To me, it feels different as someone on the outside. Now, you're someone who's probably, you're from Iran. I'm sure you still have contacts in there, so you're very much more of an insider. Do you see it the same way? Do you think this time is different, or what do you think the chances are this is successful?
I see this time difference. The previous times, people were chanting that what they don't want. Now they are chanting what they want. And now we are in a different world. New sheriff is a town. New president
New
is in a
stance.
White House. You know that. So well, we don't have Barack Obama. That when I was in the street, we were chanting, "Obama, Obama, you are with us or you are with them regime," and Obama dealt with the regime. Okay. And now we have President Trump. And also, we need to consider that we are in a world after October 7. October 7 changed many things. And
Yep.
these days, the regime doesn't have Hezbollah. Hezbollah lost one eye and some the other part of their bodies in a pager operation. So they don't have Hamas and, many proxy was neutralized and served justice by Israel. So we have more hope these times. And you saw the videos. People are showing another level of courage. People are giving the meaning to the word bravery. You cannot find, you cannot translate the bravery without mentioning the Iranians, with the empty hands. They go in front of the shotgun to take the gun from the IRGC. I was in the street. I did hunger strike. I risked my life. I'm saying that I have never seen such a thing in whole of my life. It's the amazing unity. People are chanting Shah, and even I had some old friends from a student movement in university. They are not pro Shah, but they are chanting for Shah because people are in the street. And jokingly, they said that Sama, you are supporting monarchies. You're gonna come back to Iran. We're gonna deal with you later. But today, let's stand united. They were friends. They were making a joke, okay? And the things that the messages that I received 5 days ago from Iran, some of them jokingly say that goodbye, comrade. And my sister said that now is a storm in the street. Bye. And for 5 days, we don't have internet. At least for 2 days, we don't have a Starlink. And the regime cut the electricity in some major cities, in some major streets. You should consider this. Regime is cutting electricity. People cannot record a video of their unity. And also, the phone doesn't work. They cut the phone. I try to call my friends and my family inside Iran. No answer because there is no phone. And when we see some pictures, usually people travel to the border of the Iran, usually Azerbaijan or Turkey. They use some kind of technology, send a video outside. Or recently, some friends, they bring some video with themselves to outside of the country. This is the reason that you see some videos with some delays. And these days you don't see, for example, today we didn't see lots of video, but it doesn't mean that people are not in the street. People are in the street in a very, very mass number. And I think that this is our moral duty to support them.
So basically, because I agree with Rob, it feels different now compared to all the other times prior to this. And I can't stop from thinking that it's because of Donald Trump, that it's because you guys have such a powerful ally as well in the back end. That's just that good. And I apologize for my language, but that guy don't give a fuck. If he warned the regime, if you guys continue doing what we're doing, we're gonna nuke you. That's basically what he came out with. It was either today or tomorrow or yesterday.
Did he actually say that, or did he say like?
Yeah, no. He's implying it, but he's basically saying no. But he's been threatening them to say, if you guys use deadly force, you'll force me to do something. After what he did in Venezuela, after what he's talking about doing to Greenland, you have to take the guy seriously. So is that? Do you think, or at least from the people that that are still in Iran, do they welcome Trump as somebody to help them?
Yes, they welcome Trump, and symbolically they named several streets in the name of Donald Trump. There is lots of famous footage that they put the blue name of the Donald Trump on the street because the name of the streets in Iran is in a blue shape. So yes, people using the hashtag make Iran great again, and they support Trump, and support give us the Trump give us lots of good verbal support. We need action. Personally, I am advocating for R2P for Iran, responsibility to protect. When the regime is a legitimate regime, the free world has the duty to defend innocent people. But unfortunately, I just before coming to the show, we were waiting for the good news that Trump give a green light to U.S. Army to attack to IRGC bases, to Ayatollahs, to Khamenei. But the last news that I have, it's that just Trump issued 25% tariff over the countries that dealing with the regime in Iran, which is not effective. Regime is killing in a mass number. Regime is killing in a mass number, and I'm so sad, so angry at the same time, so hopeful. I'm a God believer, and I have faith to freedom.
Yeah, I was reading the other day that there's been thousands of arrests made during these protests, and Iran is going to start now probably executing some of these people.
Yes, yes, they did it.
And of course,
they did it. They already started the executions.
yeah, and of course they're saying, you know, these people were they're saying that they were, you know, causing, you know, damage or burning down buildings or vandalism or destruction or whatnot. I feel like that's probably not true. Is this, how does the regime work? Are they going to go? Will they just go to these protests and literally just grab people at random? If you're here, we're just going to throw you in the truck and then do a trumped up charge and you're executed the next day.
You know that, for example, when I see some of those lefty liberals in the West, that they are thinking that they stand with the resistance in Palestine or whatever. You want to stand with the resistance, stand with the brave Iranians that risking everything. Exactly like you, randomly they grab the people and they headshot the people. They use tear gas. They use baton. But the good news is that people learned. Sorry, my the good news that people learn how to organize, you know. For example, they go in a mass numbers to the major streets, chants against the regime, but they when they want to go back home, they go, for example, in a small numbers very fast. You know, you learn it when there is a since let's say that 2018 the new wave start. Let's say that 7 years, 8 years when you are protesting, you learn how to protest. You know, you learn it from your mistake, you learn it from the dirty technique that the regime is using. So yes, you see many vandalism, and I'm gonna say that when the government show the tyranny, rebellion is your duty.
By the way, I just want to correct something that I said. I didn't mean, hopefully I didn't say nuke Iran, because nuke refers to a
Yeah.
nuclear bomb. Obviously, I meant bomb, and he repeated it yesterday, Rob, just so you know. He has
Okay.
emphasized the fact that he wants to bomb, or at least if the violence continues against the protesters, that he is looking to crack down on the regime, which it's very
We
interesting.
just see it. We just see it in the word, in the just verbally. In action, we didn't see anything yet. Hopefully, the Marco Rubio wings in the Trump administration will defeat the JD Vance wings that more isolationist.
Yeah, that whole thing is very interesting, how the US is kind of going back to acting like a superpower. Like ever since Trump's second mandate, he is really, really using the power of the US to its advantage, and he's getting involved in things that previous government probably wouldn't have, just like what happened in Venezuela, for example. So I'm not surprised that he's talking about Iran and getting involved. I'm curious to see what he's actually going to do over there. But one of the things that I know you talk about a lot is, well, you know what? Before I ask you this, let me ask you your opinion. Do you think that this time the regime will fall? Do you think that this is
Uh,
the time that it falls?
I can say that you have played poker. I consider that, and
Yes.
the people of Iran, they went all in this time. Okay, and if free world help us, if Trump respond to the voice of the people in Iran, if Trump put America first and help the people to defeat the number one enemy of US, yes.
That's what I'm seeing too. It definitely, like we were saying earlier, definitely feels different. And the fact that you have an American president that
Yeah.
is gonna probably get involved at one point is definitely gonna play in you guys'
And
favor.
also you need to consider that Bashar al-Assad that killed 600,000 people, and Nicolas Maduro, both of them were a close ally with the regime. Both of them is gone. Regime is really only they have alone, and the regime has just, let's say, that two partner, China and Russia. Russia is involved in Ukraine. Okay, Russia cannot do lots of things, and China prefer to have a business with big U.S. market rather than the market in Iran. So China will not stand with the regime if the pressure goes higher and higher. But we need support from President Trump, definitely.
So one of the things that I know you speak about a lot, because that's a concern when it comes to Canada, because we have very poor immigration standards. Like we have mass immigration going on here, and we're pretty much letting anybody in because I won't go down the rabbit hole as to why we do it, but I think we all know that mass immigration is a massive problem here in Canada. Are you worried that as we potentially see the Iran regime fall, that a lot of the people in power right now are going to seek refuge here in Canada?
They are already here in Canada. So we have 700 active member of IRGC, according to Globe and Mail. My estimate is 4,000. So we have 400 or 450 people that related to Hamas, and they have some kind of a status on Canadian soil, on a visa, on a PR, on a citizenship. So unfortunately, under the 10 years, 11 years liberal government, Justin Trudeau and Mark Carney, we see the raising of jihadism, and even they raised their ugly flag in Toronto, in Calgary, in major cities of Canada. So I do remember during the Freedom Convoy, waving Canadian flag was racist, but raising a jihadi flag, raising Hamas flag, which is a listed terrorist organization, offend Toronto police. So these are real problem, and I think it was 2 years ago. I had a speech in York University, my own university that I graduated. So I said something very brutal, but unfortunately it is true. I hope that it was not true. At that time, I said that the chance for freedom in Iran under the Ayatollahs is higher than the chance for freedom in Canada. And if you don't fight for your freedom and for your own liberty, you will lose that.
Huh.
Canadian trust to government too much. I don't care liberal or government. Okay, you need to put yourself. You need to put your country first. I participate in Canada First Rally. I participated proudly in Freedom Convoy, and you can see that I stand with my country as well. And I love Canada. This country gave me the refuge. This country gave me the hope, life, freedom that I was denied under Sharia law. And this is the reason that when I see the jihadists, when I see the communists, that they are supporting Maduro. They want more socialism. They want more communism. They want more Islamism. They want to pray in the major intersection. I don't care who you are. I don't care which religious you are. Go to your church, go to your mosque and pray. God bless you. Don't block the major intersection. This is not just freedom of religion that you see the
Yeah,
jihadists
yeah.
showing. This is a domination show. You see that Toronto police deliver the coffee. It blows my mind. I became so angry. How Canadian cannot see this? You in several videos, in my X account, in my Instagram, in my Facebook, in my events that I
Oh yeah,
organize.
we
I'm saying that
we
wake
talk about
up,
that a lot.
wake up, wake up. And I'm so sad because Canada is a great country. And still there is a hope. Still there is a hope. I do remember that during the COVID training, the government wants that you think that you are alone. The government wants you think that you are the only one anti-science COVID denier, whatever. So, but freedom can will give us the hope, you know.
Yeah.
So all government in Canada and the regime in Iran, they want you to lose your faith. They want you to lose your hope to freedom. Okay, we need to trust to each other. We need trust. We need to trust to the people. Yes, many Canadians elbow up. They hate Trump or whatever, but many Canadians stand for this country as well. We need to be hopeful.
Do you agree that we let too
Yeah,
many
I
people
think
in, that their
Yes,
behind the
yes.
values don't align with Western values? Because we spoke a tiny bit prior to recording, because we don't know each other personally or anything. We've never recorded anything together, but I'm a Christian, and I strongly believe that North America was founded on Christian values. And oh, we are bringing in people that, in my opinion, their values don't align with Western values. Being Muslims, in my opinion, their values don't align with my values as a Christian. Do you agree with that? Do you agree that there's a component with our immigration that is completely wrong, where people that they're not only are we bringing people that their values don't align with ours, but we let them dictate, like you said, as a force, a show of force, sorry, as in they're praying in the street. As a Christian, I can't do that. I know people personally that have been arrested for praying, for preaching on the sidewalk, not in the street in Bloor in Toronto, but on the sidewalk. So what needs to be done, considering what happened to your country? Because the same thing happened in Iran, the same thing happened in Lebanon, where Christians or very tolerant people
Lebanon. Yeah.
tend to accept Islam to show up, and they don't realize what they're doing, because the type of invasion that we're seeing has changed from the bullet to the ballot. They come here, they start voting, and that's how, when they reach about 10% of the population, that country's pretty much screwed. Do you agree? First, do you think that what I'm saying is racist? Do you think that what I'm saying is wrong? Do you think that their Canadians need to protect their values by doing something about not only the immigrants that we're bringing here, but being very careful about who's already here and considering sending them back, as in what we call remigration?
So the level of stupidity with Iranians pronounce S with E, S school. We don't say school. Okay. The level of stupidity, the level of stupidity between Canadian government and Canadian authority is out of my imagination. So what you said is not racist, and I partially, most of the part, I do agree with you, but I use a bit not politically correct language. I'm a free speech guy, but I use the politically smart language. I'm Muslim, and I fast during the Ramadan, and when I have some kind of problem in my personal life, I call my mom and my grandma, and I'm saying that pray for me. And as a Muslim, as a Muslim who fasts in Ramadan, I do believe that churches is the last front that we have against communism in the West. My friends, my group, my organization, we were the same group that light a candle for Charlie Kirk. Charlie was Christian, okay? But I do stand with Charlie, you know that. So maybe Charlie today he has another opinion about Iran with me, but doesn't matter. As long as you respect to free speech, you are my friend. You see these jihadists in the street of Toronto, these Hamas sympathizers, this is not a matter of free speech. They are linked with Muslim Brotherhood, they are linked with IRGC, they receive money directly, indirectly from CCP, Chinese Communist Party. This is a matter of foreign interference in our streets, in our universities, in our institutes. And what you said is totally correct. I had some private meeting. You call me expert. I hate the word expert after the COVID. So, as a soldier for freedom, I had a private meeting with some RCMP officers, and I said that why all of the terrorists are coming to Canada. They said that no, we have a vetting system and this thing. Okay, what's your vetting system? So, do you support terrorism? The answer is no. Then welcome to Canada. It's very. I can't.
That's the
You
betting.
call it. You call it Ali Khamenei. You talk with Ali Khamenei. Do you support terrorism? No, I don't support terrorism. I support resistance. They're gonna play. No one on planet Earth gonna say that I support terrorism. No one. Saddam Hussein will not say that. Bin Laden will not say that. Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi will not say that. All of them see themselves as a force for freedom. You know that the level of stupidity between the Canadian government is unimaginable. You know that, and imagine that brave girls and women in Iran, they are risking their lives, removing their hijab in front of the bullet, in front of the IRGC. Some besieged of brown shirt of the IRGC. They are forces of IRGC. They use acid to throw in your face because you remove your hijab. And I was a student in
Yeah.
York University. 2nd of February is a hijab day. They give a scarf to the stupid, sorry, I'm not racist, white liberal girls, most of them PhD master in York University. Oh my God.
No,
You should see
we
my
know
face
about
at
them.
that time. I said, are you kidding me? In Iran, we are fighting against that. And in Canada, you are glorifying niqab, you are glorifying hijab. And my mom, my sisters, they are wearing hijab. I am Muslim. You're gonna call me Islamophobe or whatever. Do feel free. You cannot teach Quran to me. You cannot teach Arabic to me. I understand Quran firsthand. You know that. Don't teach Islam to me. I know that. So what you said that it's accurate, and I don't know that why Canada is doing suicide when you see that at the day that they were raising the ugly
Yeah.
flag of Narnia, because I don't consider Palestine as a state, when they were raising the flag. When they were raising the flag in Nathan Philippe Square in Toronto, one of the Freedom Friends, Freedom guy that he is sent Scott. We call him Freedom Scott. Freedom Scott play all Canada, and all Canada offended Toronto police, and Toronto police shut it down. Can you imagine that? Just a few years ago, you remember that having Canadian flag on Parliament Hill was racist. They were searching the kid for the crime of having Canadian flag. What about the jihadi flag? What about Palestine flag? What about Shabi flag? What about Hezbollah flag? What about the other flags? They are unbelievable. And I am saying that when you see that NCCM, I'm going to use a politically smart language, then they cannot sue me. NCCM, National Canadian Council Muslim. When you see that RCMP receiving some kind of advice from NCCM, when you see that CSIS receiving advice from NCCM, when you see that Toronto police praise NCCM, when you see that we have a ambassador fighting Islamophobia, some kind of non-necessary position in government, $200,000 Canadian taxpayer waste. These are not, that just randomly mistake. This is a deliberately agenda, and I can see the infiltration by IRGC, by Muslim Brotherhood, by Chinese Communist Party. Just this week, Michael Ma, the former conservative member of parliament who crossed the floor and all of a sudden he became liberal, he is traveling with Mark Carney to China. They don't try to hide it.
Nope.
They don't try to hide it. You see the corruption in the level of Ayatollah.
Do you watch the show, Salman?
Pardon me?
These are all the topics we cover.
Yeah. So I'm saying that my
these are all the
friends make
topics
a
that we
joke.
cover. Everything
Yeah,
you're going.
Yeah, my friends made a joke that they saying that Salman is fighting for freedom everywhere. These days, I'm just fighting for freedom in my birth country. This is the reason that I am saying that. Removing Islamic regime will benefit US, will benefit Canada, will benefit Christian world, will benefit Israel. The world without Islamic regime in Iran is a better place for all of us. You don't care about Iranian, care about Canadians, care about Americans, care about Jews. You know that? Care about Christians. How many Christian the regime executed? How many Jews that regime's proxy killed? How many Muslim that regime killed? Where the regime supported Bashar al-Assad. No one killed Muslim more than Bashar al-Assad in the recent history. No one. 600,000 people. Okay, so what we need right now is political support and serving justice to IRGC and Ayatollahs by President Trump.
Salman, I'm just as I'm listening to you speak here, I feel like me and you and Nico are probably on a lot of the same pages here. You mentioned the protesters who are shutting down streets and how that's wrong. That's a show of force. They're not legitimate worshiping.
This is domination show. This is domination show.
We've talked a lot on this show about that. Exactly, right. And we've talked about that how Islam for some Muslims, not all, but for some is it's not just a religion, but it's also a it's a political movement that they're trying to spread to other countries. They come to the West and then
I personally use the word Islamism for differentiating that.
Yes. Sure. I think I agree with that, and I think that's a good distinction. So my question then to you is, as someone who I assume you are a practicing Muslim, and I assume you are involved in the Islamic community. You go to mosque and you do all that stuff. What is your perception?
No, I don't go. No. Wait.
How many are
in
Islam?
Canada? No.
You don't.
In Canada, in Canada, I don't go to the mosque. Let me just be clear. We have two main branches of Islam: Shia and Sunni. Sunni is controlled by Muslim Brotherhood, and Shia mosque is under influence of IRGC and the regime in Iran. I don't go to the mosque in Canada. All of them, not all of them, don't come after me. Most of them, no, all of them need to be investigated. Most of them are connected with some bad factors, but all of them need to be investigated. When you go to the mosque and you see the picture of Khamenei, when you see the picture of Qasem Soleimani, in the other mosque, you see the picture of Bin Laden, you see the picture of Ayman al-Zawahiri, famous terrorist of Al-Qaeda or famous terrorist of IRGC. Those are not the mosques that I go. I will never go to those mosques.
So I feel like the fact that you don't go to the mosque probably answers the question that I'm going to ask, which is how many, in your opinion, what is a percentage of the Muslim immigrants that are coming to Canada are like you, who are, you know, Muslim, but open-minded, are not Islamists, do not want Sharia law, and how many are the type that are blocking the streets? Like even just a rough ratio. Are we talking 70-30? Is it 50-50? Is it 80 90
So
10? Because it
honestly,
seems to me like that's a lot.
honestly, this is a this is a it needs a accurate data first, and I don't have that data. And second, again, the same question. You go to any Muslim to say that, do you support
Even just a
Hamas? They're
ballpark
gonna say,
guess. But
yeah, they're gonna say no. You cannot, you cannot identify these things. But I can see that day by day, the number of secular Muslims that respect to free speech like me is growing up. But for destroying the Western civilization based on Judeo-Christian value, not based on Muslim value, Mr. McCartney. So for destroying the Western civilization, you do not need millions of Islamist jihadis. You just need a few in the government. You need a few on the streets, and unfortunately, it's so sad to say that there is enough terrorists on Canadian soil to destroy this country, and Toronto police actively ignoring them, refuse to apply current existing law. Liberal government, they don't take it seriously. Why? Because they want to encourage, they want you to feel unsafe. Then you say that, why you don't do anything? Okay, I want to do something. I'm gonna hire more police. Why they want hire more police? More control. The final goal is Islamism and communism. This is the final goal. And why Islamists and communists working hand to hand together? Because communists are against, let's say that imperialism or America, and Islamists are against democracy. They want Khalifa. Both of them, they don't love Judeo-Christian value. Now they are working hands to hands together, and unfortunately, I don't see any villain in a political establishment or in Canadian authorities to combat with them. You know that it's real. The first time I heard the word Islamophobia, it was Iran or Canada. It
Canada,
was
obviously.
Canada. Yeah, motion M103. I'm saying that I have seen more people with kafia, the symbol of rape and torture, in Canada in compare with Iran. Even the IRGC, those terrorists, okay, they don't let their supporters go to the mall with the megaphone on the busiest day of the year, harassing people over Palestine. I see something in Canada that even Islamic regime doesn't let to do happen. Jokingly, one of the friends said that, Salman, how many times you were arrested? I said that many, many times. I don't remember, but 3 times I got jail. And he asked me that, did they froze your bank account? Did they freeze your bank account? Then I understand that. You see something in Canada, you see something in UK that even you don't see it in a third world country. And what happened in UK is going to happen in Canada. And God bless Tommy Robinson that he's fighting so hard for Judeo-Christian value in UK, and many of the other friends here, they are fighting for freedom in Canada as well. But all I'm saying that we are in a bad situation in Canada.
So last question for you, considering we're at the top of the hour right now. So I want you to give us what you think are solutions for what's happening in Canada, because this is something we talk about. What you just mentioned, we talk about all the time, and some cultures just don't mix. Let's be honest here. And there's nothing wrong with that. They're different cultures. That's fine. That's why we have a bunch of different countries. There's cultures that align, some don't. but we all, over the past 10, 11 years of very liberal policies, we have allowed a lot of people in Canada that shouldn't be here. That not only on culture wise, not only in what they believe, but they're not here to make Canada better. They're trying to turn Canada into a country that they came from, which we should never be allowed to happen. What do you think is the solution to, because potentially we could close our borders, we could say no more, but in your opinion, as somebody that's seen firsthand what can happen to a country that lets extreme values or extreme views take over, Canada's just a matter of time if we don't stop it. So what do you think is the solution to kind of bring back the Canada, at least that I grew up in the 80s? Hopefully
Okay.
prior to that.
So you should see the patterns. Let me just going fast. The first thing that the regime in Iran did, they banned lion and sun flag. You see that lion and sun flag here? They changed the flag. The first thing that Chavez regime did in Venezuela, they changed the flag. They add additional star to Venezuelan flag. This one of the first thing that the regime did in Iran. They banned the gun. They confiscated the gun. One of the first thing that the regime did in Iran, they give the key of, at that time, Israeli embassy to Yasser Arafat, another terrorist, PLO, Palestinian Liberation Organization. They give the key of the Israeli embassy to PLO. Canada recognized Palestine as a state. I want my Canadian friends to see the patterns. You see the patterns. The solution is something that the people in Iran is doing. Stand against tyranny. Is easy. Don't trust your government. Doesn't matter left, right, conservative or liberals. It is not matter of left and right. It's a matter of corrupt elite and people. That's it. Okay. And don't listen to CBC. It's not good for your mental health as well. They are fake news. So and support freedom fighters in Canada, and also don't give excuse to the far right, some Nazi. Some people come saying some very radical, unnecessary things with the covering their faces. Okay, I personally suspicious that they are fed, yeah, they are cop, they are working with through the government. We see that, or say Mark Carney government. We see that during the convoy, one Nazi flag, the guy was a whole cover. They labeled whole the convoy. Okay, so don't go too far right. Stand on your principle. Defend your family. Don't let they push LGBT gender ideology agenda to the brain of your children. Jordan Peterson has a very good quote. If you cannot defend your family, you cannot defend your country. Stand up on your value. Follow the Canadian national anthem. Stand on guard for Canada. Stand on guard for freedom and pay the price. I pay the price. You are doing the show. You are raising the awareness. The jihadist dislocated my shoulder over waving Canadian flag. It is my pin tweet in X. It's my pin post on X. Pay the price. Tamar Alich went to the prison. David Mendes arrested several times. Ezra Levin as well. Many people pay the price. Several truckers were arrested for a few hours. And I said that during a convoy. I said that in Iran, we are at the end of the road of dictatorship and tyranny. In Canada, we are at the beginning of that road. Don't think so that God-given freedom and rights, or don't think so your Charter of Rights and Freedoms will be protected and government doesn't come after you. I don't encourage anyone to violence. I'm peaceful. Peacefully stand up for your government. As Ronald Reagan always said, government is a big problem, and Canadian doesn't understand this. Most of them, I say that some of them, let's say that some of them doesn't understand that government is not your friend. Toronto police is not your friend. RCMP is not your friend. CSES is not your friend. I don't say go do something violent against them. But by writing on social media, by organizing peaceful protests, by participating in Canada First rally, in a Stop Mass Immigration rally, by supporting Freedom Convoy, you can save your country.
Rob, anything you wanted to add to this?
No, that was a good answer. I think a nice, a good place to wrap it up, I think.
I agree. Salman, I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for coming on the show today. All the best of luck to your family and friends that are still in Iran. And hopefully for you guys, I don't know, hopefully, but I think you guys want Trump to get involved, and I think it's going to happen. So hopefully that works out for the best. I don't know if you have any words of closure you want to say before we let you go.
Make Iran great again.
Anything you want to plug or anything?
I said, make Iran great again.
Thank you for your time, Salman. Thank you very much.
It was very, very, very informative.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good night, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
There you are, man. Yeah. Mega.
Mega, make Iran great again. Yeah. So there you go.
It's funny. Yeah, great. I thought it was a pretty good interview. I'm surprised, like he pretty much agrees with us just about two that he talked about. I mean, like if that was the average, Muslim immigrant with those that kind of a mindset, we wouldn't be really having an issue here, I don't think. It's just that's not the type of guy who's down there blocking streets praying, right? Who's demanding Sharia law. Unfortunately, and when I asked, I was like, what's the kind of, how many are like you and how many like the other? Just the fact that he doesn't go to the mosque is kind of an answer to the question, right? Because it's most of them are the Sharia law type.
Yes,
and that's a fact. So that goes to show we're the vet. Go ahead.
I didn't want to insult him, but I don't consider him a Muslim. Do you know what I mean? Like, by what the standard is of Islam, he is not. When I think about a Muslim, this is not what I'm talking about. A guy that would say that he's against what they're doing.
No, it's not the average. It's not the typical. No.
So I'm not even sure.
I would say he's quite rare, to be honest.
Yes. No, 100%. 100%. So it's very interesting to see somebody that consider themselves Muslim speak like that. I would not consider him Muslim personally. That's my opinion. But I appreciate, though, that he showed up. I wasn't there to challenge him on his religion. I was there just to get his opinion as to what's happening to Iran and what's happening here in Canada. And it's interesting that he sees pretty much the same problems as we're seeing. So, yeah, it's not... Most of the people that come from these countries that had to escape a regime look at Canada like, what the fuck are you guys doing? So, good show, man.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, it's why come here? Why come here if you're just going to try to change it into the shithole that you just left? You know what I mean? I'll take this comment here before we sign off because I think it's a good one from Sal Leslie. Says, thank you, great show. I have much of this knowledge. I hope that others who are oblivious to this knowledge get to see this and hopefully learn something. For me as a Christian, Islam is a cancer that does not belong on Canadian soil. There should be no special treatment or privileges for Islam, or for that matter, Muslims. Come to Canada and integrate with what Canada is, not try to change it. And I agree with pretty much everything. I mean, I don't have an issue with people who practice Islam being here. If they were all like Salman there, I wouldn't have the slightest issue. The problem is they are not. That's just a reality on the ground. They are not. He is quite rare. Most of them are the ones who are trying, as you say, Sal, trying to change the society, trying to, and you just can't, you can't do that. There, like Nico said earlier, there's nothing wrong with having cultures that don't fit with each other, right? That's just reality. It's not a judgment call. It's not a value. It's not saying one is better and one is not. I mean, we can have our personal opinions, but it's not even relevant. Point is, they are different. And if you don't like it here, there are other countries that have the cultures that you want. So just go to those ones, right?
Poland being the perfect example. You look at what Poland is saying. We don't want Muslims in our country because we are a Christian country. That's not a problem. Look at how well Poland is doing.
No,
and that's not a problem. Some cultures do not
and that's
align.
That's not a coincidence.
And it's okay. Oh, you think? So this is the point I'm trying to make. Right?
That's perfectly fine.
Of course it is. Of course it is. So let's as you say, let's put a pin in her and call it a night. But yeah, good show, man.
Let's put a pin in her. Yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that interview. I thought it was quite informative. I think I'm liking the new time slot as well. It might take a little while. I noticed some of the regulars show up towards the end. It might take a couple days for some of them to kind of readjust, but I definitely think it's the right move. Lots of comments, guys. As usual, we weren't able to take as many as we'd like to because when we do have a guest, we usually just let them talk. But if you are just tuning in for the first time, this is the Political Orphans. Normally, we are going to take a lot more of these questions. We do take audience questions as part of the regular format of the show. Whether you agree with us, disagree with us, think we're full of shit, we want to hear from you. So if you do want to support the show, you can become a member. You can do that through YouTube for the low price of $2.99 per month. And other way to support, just keep coming back. Throw us some comments in. Will says, and you're still late. Yeah, it's in my DNA, man. I am genetically programmed to be late. And it don't matter what time it is. It's always going to be a minute or two late. It's.
I just want to take this one before we go, though. Woke till you're broke. You guys don't talk to your audience. We normally spend half of our time speaking to our audience. The issue, but not the issue, but we had a guest, so we tend to talk to our guests, which makes sense, right? But yeah, come back. You'll see that we, on the contrary, we interact with our audience a lot. But there's an interview; right. It's a bit different.
Yeah. Normally we're gonna and woke to Rogue. I did see you throwing a lot of comments in there, and we saw those for sure, and we appreciate those. And on a regular night where we don't have a guest, we're gonna take a large chunk of those. I even took your one a couple weeks ago when you said I look like a butt plug. So I mean,
oh shit, that's the same guy. Oh, that one hurt.
So you throw them in there. We're gonna get.
So that one, that comment penetrated, Rob? It penetrated a bit.
Yeah, it still hurts. It penetrated. It went balls deep. But yeah, we are going to do comments. Just keep coming back, keep throwing them in. Other than that, folks, have a great night. Have a great rest of your evening. We'll catch you tomorrow night. Same time, same channel.